Immigration. Tell me about that.
So who are these people in our country? They're not vetted, right? We don't know nothing of them. So,
They're asylum seekers, essentially, right?
and that's fine. I love people. I love diversity. I do. I honestly, in my heart, I do.
Do you really? Because it seems like you're about to give us a but or a however or some reason why you don't like diversity.
What I see on TV, what I read on the news is a lot of people getting bused from Texas, Governor Abbott, saying we cannot sustain all these people coming in.
Do you think that's PR and propaganda, or do you think you take him at his word?
No, I absolutely believe it, because the reason I say I believe that is because Governor Abbott, he's sitting there saying he can't sustain this. So if Abbott, he's not even on the border where Texas is, right? And if Abbott can't sustain the influx of immigrants that are coming, then what do you think is happening in Texas, where they're right there on the border? I mean, that should speak volumes.
So you're worried about immigration because Governor Abbott told you to be worried about it, and he's busing immigrants to other blue cities because he's saying, I can't handle it. Well, at least some Texas politicians have an answer for immigration.
You have voted down multiple times different policies. So what have specifically the Republican members that are here today, what have you all done to help Joe Biden in this year that you all have waited for?
All right, so that's a ridiculous and silly question. I want to commend you for being the media and telling a Democrat policy. So let me ask you something.
Come on, man, that's been going on for 20 years.
Okay, hey, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. What rate of illegal immigration did we have in 2020? Do you know anything? I asked you a question. Do you know anything?
How long have you been in office?
I've been in office 11 years now.
And this has been kicked the count during multiple administrations.
Except you don't get to argue with me. You asked your question. You asked your question. You want to hold a press conference, you can do it over there.
There's Ted Cruz getting offended at the question of what have you done to fix immigration. He forgot to mention that one time he actually ran away and went to Cancun. It wasn't an immigration issue, it was because Texas was freezing, but he immigrated the other way to get out of the country to get some warm weather because he hasn't done anything for anything. However, Republicans keep complaining about immigration. Watch this.
And what happened at the border today sent chills through most Americans. It was scary. People didn't know if it was a terrorist attack. We didn't know exactly what was happening or what the motive was. It made us ask ourselves, could it have been related to the open border policies of the administration? Was it simply an accident? We don't know, but it caused us all to think.
And there you go. There's the Fox commentator Chaffetz saying that when that car that just blew up at the border, the U.S.-Canada border during Thanksgiving, when the explosion happened, we all started thinking that it was terrorism and we were all freaking out. And was it because of Joe Biden's loose immigration policy? Well, first of all, let's just deal with the car. The car was an explosion that happened because there was this couple in it and they were driving and the car had some kind of mechanical problems or something. They haven't figured out quite yet what. But the car went flying. There's video of it now. The car went flying and crashed and blew up. So it had nothing to do with terrorism. It was something that hasn't been solved yet, but it wasn't terrorism. But the right wing jumped to it. They said, there you go. They're coming after us. The terrorists are here. They're coming after us. So that's number one. Number two, the thing with Ted Cruz saying, oh yeah, we had low immigration numbers in 2020. Well, that's because the pandemic happened and we implemented Title 42, which was this policy that allows the president to lock down the borders when there's something like a pandemic happening. It's a health hazard, so they lock it down. So immigration dropped a lot during 2020 going into 2021 because of the pandemic. Now, the big question is, do we have an issue with immigration? Yes, we do. The other question is, has the right come up with any solutions? No, they haven't. Are they good at complaining? Yes, they are. They go, we got to shut down the borders. We got to put kids in cages. Governor Abbott, that lady was talking about, had famously done things such as putting barbed wire in the water so that immigrants coming across would get caught in the barbed wire. Some lady was a pregnant lady. She got caught in the barbed wire and had a miscarriage. There's a lot of inhumane solutions that they have, but it's not the solution to the problem. One solution I heard somebody proposed, which would have been a great solution, which for some reason, I don't know why Congress doesn't want to implement this, is they said rather than having people have to escape and come across the border to work and then stay because they got here illegally, maybe we should be giving more work permits to people from the other side of the border so they can come and go a lot more and help support their families. The other reason, by the way, why a lot of these countries have people coming to us is because we, America, have had a hand in destabilizing a lot of these countries. And a lot of the people that are coming are asylum seekers, which means they're running from a bad situation. They come here, and that's the legal process. Then they get their cases looked at, and if they really do have a problem back home where they're being persecuted for their religion that they believe in, if they're LGBTQ, or there's gangs that are after them, or whatever that reason is, then the government can make a decision to allow those people to come in. By the way, the right wing, they keep saying these people are coming in, they're sneaking in to come kill Americans. The biggest threat to Americans are Americans. That's a fact. Statistically speaking, even percentage-wise, Americans are going after Americans, whether it's with shootings or whether it's the biggest threat right now, if you want to talk about terrorism, is the extreme right-wing people who stormed the Capitol. So these same people that are saying that some boogeyman is coming to get you are supporting the January 6th people who stormed the Capitol and tried to overthrow democracy and attacked police and were ready to hang Mike Pence and were going to scalp Nancy Pelosi. Those people are excused by the right wing, and then the right wing keeps making up this boogeyman. Remember back when they were saying that there was open borders back in 2016, they were saying that they were finding prayer rugs near the border, which meant that there was terrorists coming. That doesn't mean, prayer rugs doesn't mean that maybe there's someone who's religious that was praying that is not a terrorist. Just because there's a prayer rug doesn't mean that it's a terrorist praying to try and come in. You understand? It's all very convoluted, but they need a boogeyman. And that's where you get those women, the lady you saw early on in the video talking about immigrants are coming and it's dangerous and all that other stuff. By the way, we need immigration. We need immigrants to do the work that a lot of Americans don't want to do. So these people don't look at statistics. They don't look at history. They don't look at the facts. They just are pushed by the right-wing media to believe that someone's out to get them. And then a car goes flying at the border, explodes, and right away they say, there you go. There's the Muslims. They're coming to get us. Those immigrants, they're coming to get us. They're coming to get us. Donald Trump's whole election started with him saying Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers. And that's it. And now, by the way, you should all be afraid because he is now getting love from Univision, the Mexican or Spanish-speaking network in America, is giving him airtime, even after he went and denigrated that whole community when he first started with his presidential campaign. So all that said, please register to vote. Vote blue. If you're going to vote red, don't vote for Ted Cruz. He's the scum of the earth. And if you have any friends that are afraid of immigrants, tell them to go have some food in one of these places like a Mexican restaurant or a Middle Eastern Lebanese restaurant or a Persian restaurant. Somewhere, go have the food and meet the people. And you'll see you shouldn't be afraid. Matter of fact, you're going to love them because they have great food. I'm an immigrant. We have great food. I'm Maz Jobrani. I'm on tour all over the country. Go to mazjobrani.com. Come watch me. Come watch my stand-up. And love your neighbors.